We had played 2 excellent periods. And all of a sudden it goes from being 2-0 to, they get a power play goal and then an indirection goal, and now it's bang, bang, 2-2. And we had multiple chances to extend that. I mean, it could have been 5-0. And the ability for us to come out, after they scored their second goal and then control the last 4 minutes of the second and then start the third continuing that, that's what led to the goal, because we were able to just park it and move on.
Yeah, and then jumping ahead to the end of the third there, they pulled their goalie with 2.5 minutes left. They're playing with a man advantage. Some big time saves by Benny at the end there, and then a couple big block shots. Tell me a little about the end of the game there, how you think your team played defensively to hold that one on and get the big 3 points.
Yep, it's an area that you work on. You don't probably practice it as much as you watch it on video. And just remind guys, and I thought the awareness was great. There were guys selling out to get that done, and obviously Benny made some saves at the end that were important. And the thing that to be honest, probably the last 5 minutes of the game, we didn't play very well. So, when that bleeds into that and then they pull their goalie, sometimes you're susceptible to giving up, giving that lead back, but we found a way to bend but not break.
Yeah, and then on Saturday night, didn't get the results you wanted. Talk a little about Andre's goal there. He got a call back and then was able to go right back down and put that one in.
That's it. It's the hardest call in hockey because there's no definitive answer. Is it goaltender interference? Is it not? Actually, I talked to their coach and I said, "Why'd you challenge that?" And he goes, "Had I seen it?" He goes, "One of the guys on our staff thought it was goal interference," and he said, "Had I seen it, I probably wouldn't challenge it." And then it gets called back, and that's just that call. Like it's in the NHL, it's in college, and I didn't agree with it, but the resiliency for us to come back, and it didn't have an outcome in the game because we score and Andre scores again. So, Saturday, this weekend were steps in the right direction, and I sat here last week and said we got a lot of work to do. There's steps in the right direction for sure. Held them in the 20s in shots both nights. Now it's just playing 2 nights. Can you get 2 nights in? And it's just this is not an excuse. It's just something that is a real thing. We almost went 30 days between our 2 games. We had them where we wanted them at the end of the break, and then you're off for 30 days. So, maybe it's something we need to look at about how we manage our break. But it's almost like we're got to get them back in shape again.
Yeah, and then Saturday, 5 power play opportunities, only 1 goal out of those. Tell me a little about your special teams. How you feel they're playing, if you think that... Not
good enough. It's a privilege to be on the power play. And the power play, it's still top 20. It's still whatever. It's still over 20%. That's great. But when I look at the power play, it's been the last 12 games we're at 9%. But more importantly, it's when you need it the most, it needs to score. We needed to score on the 5-on-3. And it kind of coincides with some guys on some cold streaks. And the reality of it is that as a player, anytime that as a player, if you're in a little bit of a funk, your first thing is I don't have confidence. And if I could give you confidence, I would. I can't. But so you have to earn that confidence through practice. So we need some guys that are on the power play to kind of get going a little bit.
Yeah. And then defensively on that side of the puck, any outcomes after this weekend, maybe on your goaltender going forward? Any decisions have been made there?
Benny's going to play Friday. And I think as a decor, we need to find some continuity, and we might have some new guys in this weekend.
And then finally, you're looking ahead to Minnesota State. Tell me a little bit about that matchup. How you feel about heading to Mankato?
Well, I think there should be some guys that are excited to go back there. Excited to kind of right some wrongs from last year. They're a good team. They got good rush offense. Their power play is really good. They're well coached. I got a top line that's really dangerous. You know, they're a good team. You know, it's going to be we're going to have to play well to win.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, first time back there since the CCHA championship last year. Are you guys using that as fuel this week? Is that something that's being discussed in the locker room?
I'm not. I mean, but I know those guys have some fuel to it. To me, you can't go back and play that. Like, I think to start the year, we were trying to play that game over and over and over again. And I really don't talk about it much, but I know some of the players in there, it means a lot to them. They've said it has. So, you know, hopefully we can see that, you know, actions on Friday, based on some of the rhetoric that the players have said.